Hudson City. I'll do it again for you, Lisa. Sorry about that.
Thank you,
Good
Ryan.
morning.
I'm sorry.
You're welcome. That's okay. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, August 3rd. It is 9:32 a.m. I call the meeting of the City Hudson Industrial Development Agency to order. Mrs. Drahushik, if you would, roll call attendance, please.
I will. Heather just walked through the door, so I'm going to give her just a minute to walk in.
Sure, no problem. Good morning.
Good morning. Somebody else just came in. It might have been Kamal. Okay, I heard.
Want to hold off for a bit, Ryan?
Yeah, I'll wait for a minute.
Okay.
It's great. When I was coming upstairs, I could hear somebody buzz in the intercom.
We're not sure, Ryan, whether somebody's coming in or not.
Okay. All right, well, let's roll our attendance starting because I think like I was saying, I think it'll be a relatively short meeting today.
We can add to it later.
Yep.
Okay. Let's start. Ryan Wallace,
Present.
Paul Johnson, Heather Campbell.
Here.
Richard Wallace.
He was here.
He was here.
He
I think
was.
he dropped. Yeah.
Teresa Joyner.
Here, present.
Thank you. Dominic Moranti.
Present.
Have a quorum.
Okay, great. All right, so the first order of business is I need a motion and a second to accept the draft minutes from the June 22nd and July 6th meetings.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Dominic. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Teresa. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Okay, so we're going to flip our order here a little bit. So we have the hotel moratorium next, which I want to bring up and suggest and recommend that we extend one more month. And the reason is we still have the evaluation criteria and now the CBA completed. And I believe that we would want to hold a public hearing on those just to make sure that we've got final feedback from the public before we would adopt them for a vote. So, Mike, what would we need to do in order to make that happen?
Well, you would need to entertain two resolutions, Mr. Chairman, one to extend the moratorium and one to authorize a public hearing. And then we could coordinate the dates. You don't have to approve the time and place. You just would authorize that a public hearing would be held prior to the next board.
Okay, so would we just take a vote on that now then?
Todd, do you have any comments representing the agency and council today?
Filling in for Chris today.
I'm not too familiar with
Yeah, I think
with the background, but I think you can vote on the resolution.
But do a resolution to extend the moratorium.
Yeah, I just want to, I think it's
A motion, yeah, you can
Okay.
take motion to approve.
Okay, yeah, so can I mean, do we need a first and a second, or you know, who can we get the motion in a second, and then we can do a vote to approve an extension of 1 month on the moratorium so we can get a public hearing scheduled for the evaluation criteria.
I'll make a motion to extend the hotel moratorium for another month pending the final approval and public hearing of the CBA and other thing that I can't remember.
Thank you, Heather.
I'll second that motion.
Is that Dominic? Excellent,
Yes.
thank you. Do we just need an aggregate vote, Mike, or do we need a roll call vote on that?
I think you can do a roll call.
Okay, Mrs. Drahushik, please.
Brian Wallace,
Aye.
Paul Johnson, Heather Campbell.
Aye.
Richard Wallace,
Aye.
Teresa Joyner,
Aye.
Carol Casluca, Dominic Moranti.
Aye.
It passed.
Great. All right, Mike, do you want to do an update either way then on the 620?
Yes, we have not had any further discussion with the developer since our last meeting. We're also, we do know that on 620 Union, with respect to 60102 Union, the Elks Club, they had requested an application for IDA application, and we did provide them with background material. And we did tell them that they should be monitoring the agency's deliberations with respect to the eligibility of projects, as well as the ongoing moratorium of approving projects. And I made clear to them that their application could be accepted, but that it would not be approved till after this process was over and the project was subject to review under any guidelines that the agency might approve. Moving to the pocketbook factory, they have started construction. As you drive by, you may see the construction lights in the interior, we have not had any concerns or issues raised with respect to that project. Jessica Gabriel in our office and I are beginning to put in place the reporting processes that they will need to comply with respect to their sales tax exemption use and other matters that are contained in the IDA documents related to that project. We also have had a conversation similar to the one with the developers for 602 Union with the Galvin Foundation for the 401 Union Street Hotel, and advised them that they too should be monitoring and participating in these activities and a public hearing for the eligibility requirements, and they are aware of the hotel moratorium, but their application is in place. They have filed their application, as you know, prior to the initial moratorium. And finally, with respect to the Galvin Depot District projects, they were not successful, as I believe most of you know, in the most recent round of DHCR approvals, which were announced last week and the governor announced again yesterday. There were only 2 projects approved in the Capital Region Economic Development District, and they were both for supportive housing projects, which get extra points. I think we were conscious of the fact that the round that you file for in October, generally awarded in December, has more funding available, and the second round has less funding and would take priority projects ahead of Galvin's low-income housing tax credit project. I know there was additional presentations and approvals from the planning board related to that project recently. They're very optimistic that they will be successful in the next round, but that would put off the closing, I would suspect, until December or January once those awards. That's the extent of my report for this meeting today, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, excellent. Before I open up for public comment, any questions from other board members or any business from other board members? All right. I see Carol is just joining here. Hi, Carol. I know you got the link a little bit late. I'll recap for you quickly what we went through. So we voted, those of us here today unanimously to extend the hotel moratorium by 1 month so that we can have a public hearing on the new and revised evaluation criteria and the community benefits agreement before we adopt it so that we can move forward with a uniform assessment for future projects. And then Mike just went through and gave his update on where other projects sit right now. So with that, I'll open it up for public comment. All right. I think it's everybody's favorite time. I need a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Dominic.
I'll second.
Thank you, Heather. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Stay cool.
Stay cool.